This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for the November 1, Tuesday, November 1, 2022. My name is Vernon Carlson. I'm the chairman of the commission. I'm going to go through the commission, and let me introduce our staff to you, which is Andy Bellavacqua. Out to my extreme right, he's our town engineer. Next to him is Alan Frederickson, he's our land use administrator. To my left is Catania, he's our court reporter. Next to them is PM Miller, our staff secretary. Mark
Parisi, alternate. Jim Gilletti, regular member.
Paul Wyman, Vice Chairman. Brian Cummings, regular member.
John Triano, alternate.
Okay, well, we have a couple of, two members are missing tonight, so we'll be calling on the alternates to sit. Alan, who will we having, both and for who?
If Ron is not here, then John would be the next person in for Teresa then, who is
Okay,
ill.
okay,
I guess.
so that's it. So he'll be, John will be sitting for Teresa Ranciano, okay, and Veal. All right, we have a short agenda tonight. We have, well, just one referral and a couple of public hearings, or one public hearing, and that's really it. But let me see if there's any changes to the agenda, Alan?
Well, the only real change is that items number 2 and 4 regarding 370 Bassett Road have been withdrawn by the applicant. So those will not be heard, and they've been withdrawn, so for the time being, they won't be back.
That's it?
Is that just for this month? Or is
No, it is not. The application itself, the 2 have been withdrawn.
So if anybody's here for
They'd have to
the
reapply.
tennis courts, they will not be heard tonight. They have been withdrawn, they won't be heard at all unless they reapply. So that's it for the tennis courts, if anybody's here for them. That's the end of that. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna have Brian Cummings will sit in as secretary this evening, Alan?
Sure.
Okay, Brian, you wanna read in the referral?
Okay, first of all is an 824 referral, P22-21, application of the Town of North Haven on behalf of the Maxinaway Baseball League, requesting permission to build a wraparound roof connecting the existing clubhouse snack bar building at 282 Quinnipiac Avenue.
Okay, Andy?
We have a representative from the Maxinaway Little League who is here and prepared to speak to the issue if he would come forward. And state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve McNamara. I'm a board member of the Maxinaway Little League. We're looking to build a wraparound roof around the concession stand. Area for them to cook hot dogs, hamburgers, also a place, rain delays, or just a gathering.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Pick up the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Recording is
I'm sorry about that.
probably.
You want me to start over?
You need it to start again?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this on?
It's not a mic. It's for.
Gotcha. It's for
It's
this.
just for
Understood.
Doesn't
Understood.
amplify
Understood.
reports.
Understood. Yeah, we just think it's a good improvement for the building, for all the families who enjoy. It's been a great experience for everybody growing up, and it's a meeting place for everybody in town. We think it's an improvement to the building. We just think it's going to be a great improvement to the facility, and we're looking for your approval for this roof.
Well, you know, I'm quite familiar with the site down there, and I know exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
But any questions from the commission?
I just don't know, what's a wraparound roof mean?
It's only going on two sides.
Okay.
It's a shed roof
Okay.
that's with a hip that's going around. I provided you with drawings. I think a plan view, but we also have one right
So,
there.
So Ben, the south side and the west side. There's
So it's
nothing,
gonna cover the people while they're eating hot dogs and.
well, or while the thunder, lightning, rain and all that as well, but
It's
yeah.
just that snack bar, it was really popular this year. It was open first time since COVID or what have you, and it drew a lot of people. And it's just, it's after games, all the kids are hanging out there, and we're gonna put picnic tables there. I made it into design to match the some design at Clinton Crossings with 4x8 rafters. It's gonna look really nice. It's not going to be done cheap. It's all going to be done by volunteers. We're just paying for materials. Currently, right now, they're ripping out underneath this area, and they're re-asphalting the area. They're making paths to the bathrooms, or we asked them to do underneath here, just to improve this gathering area where our clubhouse is. Just to improve this area as well. So. It's looking really great, and they already ripped it out, and I took pictures. I'm there this evening. I'm going back there when I leave here. It's looking great. It's really going to be a great town park.
Okay, and that was my question. So this is a town park, that's why it's an 824.
Yes.
But you guys, the Maximum Baseball is doing this?
Yes,
You're
so
paying for it?
yeah, the board is paying for all materials, and we're volunteering all the labor to build it. I'm a contractor, so I'm directing people, and we're just getting a bunch of people together and throwing it up.
Good for you.
Good? Yeah.
I'm good.
Oh, okay, that's fine, thanks.
Good.
Okay, that's all we need, and we thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll take that up in deliberation.
Okay, so still, I stay for a decision?
You could.
Yeah, okay.
If you wanna call in the morning, that's fine too,
Oh,
but
that's
you can stay.
Yeah, that's fine, thank you.
Okay, Brian?
Okay, this is P 22-19, re-subdivision application of Frank P. Muzzio Jr., applicant and owner for 2 lots relative to 1934 Hartford Turnpike, map 94, lot 6, plan entitled Proposed Re-Subdivision 1934 Hartford Turnpike, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by John Paul Garcia and Associates, dated 8/9/22, revised 8/31/22, scale 1 inch equals 30 feet, R20 and R40 zoning districts.
Two lots, this stuff is- Yes, absolutely.
Hello, Luke Sofair, engineer with John Paul Garcia and Associates, here on behalf of Frank Muzzio, who's the owner and applicant for a re-subdivision at 1934 Hartford Turnpike. Currently, the property is approximately 3 acres along Hartford Turnpike, partially in the R20, partially in the R40 zones. Current use of the property is as farmland. Mr. Muzzio owns this piece here and runs a farm stand out of there. The intention is for a re-subdivision. The property has been previously subdivided to split some pieces off along the street. The intention is to subdivide into a building lot on the north side. The building lot will be 48,909 square feet. And leaving on the south side of the property as farmland, looking for one building lot, one non-building lot. There are wetlands on site, a smaller pocket of wetlands on the northern side, on what we're calling Lot 2, and a larger section of wetlands on the southern side. We have been through the Inland Wetlands Commission. We were approved with conditions. As part of that, we had meetings with the town engineer and land use administrator, addressed the vast majority of their comments, of which we've seen the review letter. In terms of site plan for Lot 2, which is the northern lot, the building lot, we are proposing a small 4-bedroom house. For now, we're just going based on a footprint because the intention is for Mr. Muzzio to sell the lot. But a 4-bedroom house, maximum footprint 30 by 60, which is keeping with the houses that are in the neighborhood currently. Trying to keep it as far away from the wetlands as possible. Like I said, we were approved through wetlands. As part of it, we're including a driveway, and a small rain garden to meet the stormwater requirements of the town and to help try to control runoff to the downstream properties.
Yeah. What do you got there to protect there's a house in front of this that was built not too long ago.
Yep.
What about the runoff to that house?
Yes. So what we have is there's two swales that we've incorporated. We have a gravel lined swale along the driveway that will help protect 1946. 1948, we put the rain garden, we positioned it so it's directly down gradient of the wetlands. So any additional runoff from the wetlands should get captured by the rain garden, as well as part of the inland wetlands approval. They recommended a grass swale that just runs along the eastern bound of the property and directs any runoff that might be coming down from the house into the rain garden. And then the rain garden, we're gonna pipe to that the footing and roof leaders, as well as part of the runoff from the driveway.
So it's all going in there.
Correct.
Okay. Andy?
Yeah, no, I reviewed what they had prepared, and I was satisfied with what was put in place. The prior subdivision included provisions for the drainage for this lot, and that you can see right on the plan, you can point that out.
Correct, yeah. So here, from this lot, because prior to these houses being built, there was runoff coming from the wetlands down. So we included on this property, there's a stone drainage swale which goes to a head wall and then a drainage structure. So any additional runoff from here was already being captured by that.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard anything about sidewalks, so.
So as part of it, we are requesting a sidewalk waiver, understanding that the subdivision requirements would require that. Seeing as it's a relatively main street, we're anticipating little pedestrian traffic, so we did submit a sidewalk waiver, if you would
Well,
consider.
why, so the other subdivision has sidewalks in front of it?
That's
right?
correct, yes.
So why would we not continue the sidewalks? That's kind of the whole point. I mean, this is me, we're trying to get sidewalks so there is places for people to go. The subdivision has sidewalk that previously, was cut out on this parcel before, right?
Mhm.
And put sidewalks in it. So why would we not now?
Just because it would be open-ended, there was obviously nothing to connect to here, it would just be a smaller section, but we do understand that that is the requirement. We did submit the waiver.
Oh, I saw.
If the commission would like, we would obviously revise the plan to include sidewalks.
Well, they're actually, they're not on the plans, which is something that.
No, we do have them on the
They're
plans.
on there?
They are,
Yes.
yeah.
'Cause I
We
see
would
them on
revise the note.
existing, I don't see them.
Yeah.
But then later
On the second
We
sheet,
have
I
it
put
now.
it attached in.
Yeah, we have a note on here referencing the sidewalk waiver. We could remove that.
Yeah, what do you have?
No, I get it. You're entitled to ask for a
Yeah,
waiver.
yeah.
So you're saying it's on these plans that have been submitted for the new lot?
I believe it's shown in the
Yeah, on the
subdivision plan.
second sheet, C2, just below the word Hartford,
Where is it?
you can see the note, and then it's arrowed into the hatch, cross hatch.
So just, okay.
And I believe it's also shown, if you look on C1, we show sidewalks along the street line.
You don't have it, okay. Well, I don't see it.
C1, oh, it's right, 100 feet, okay.
Yes. Yep, tying in. And I know Andy requested that we revise it to include a handicap ramp.
Yeah, just as
If
a
that were to be-
termination on the
Absolutely.
far end, just so it has someplace to go, it doesn't just stop.
Yeah, and we could revise that, yeah.
Luke,
I
we've got,
apologize, they're definitely.
No, no, that's fine.
They just can't read plans.
Luke, we've got two zoning districts in this. We've got R20 and R40.
Correct.
But if my memory serves me, not on this property, but right about there, we've got a commercial neighborhood district. Do we not?
A little farther south, we do,
A little farther south, which
with
would
a few houses.
a few houses
south.
down. Okay. So that's something to think about for sidewalks.
How far, the sidewalks that were put in previously to those other two lots,
Yes.
how far north do they go?
Only in front of those two lots, correct. So it's just these two here. That's the existing lot shown along the front here.
So while they're looking, I have a question. So I understand lot 2, you're saying is a building lot, you're gonna put a house on. So what is the plan for lot 1?
The intention is Frank intends to hold on to it and keep farming it. The
Okay,
principle behind the re-subdivision would be to sell off the building lot, raise
Yeah.
some money, keep the farm operation going on the remaining land.
Sounds like a plan. Got it.
Good enough. Paul?
I don't have any questions.
Brian, you'd be about
Oh,
300
I'm sorry.
feet to the CN.
Okay.
Actually, I do. There's there's a couple notes about a lot of debris in the back of the, on that lot right now. And
Yes.
I know Inland Wetlands made a comment about that. And that's gonna, part of this is gonna be removing that? prior
Yes, so
to-
I believe what was recommended as part of the wetlands process, that would be a condition of pulling a building permit, that the debris would be cleaned up to the satisfaction of the building official, land use administrator, et cetera, as a condition of pulling the building permit for the lot.
There's a vehicle back there and a bunch of
Yep.
other things.
Yeah, it's in there, it's in there, Paul, it's under Andy's,
Yeah.
Andy's comments there, so
Yes.
before a building permit is issued on that piece of property.
Correct.
It will be removed, yeah. Brian?
Yeah, I do. You just, I guess, to reiterate, you've read over Alan's comments and Andy's comments, and you're okay with all of them?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
John?
Paul, I'm sorry, Paul, one of the things that happened is I made the comment during the wetland process, and they revised the drawings to include a note that indicated that that had to be done. So it doesn't appear on P and Z comments
Okay.
because it's already in the drawings.
Okay, I saw it on Inland Wetlands.
Yeah.
John, you okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the rain garden. Just out of curiosity, what kind of vegetation you proposed to go in there?
Just a generic wet, moisture tolerant plants. New England wet mix. It's basically we specify for all of ours. It's just going to be a general tall grass that's resistant to periodic intermittent flooding. I know Andy included a comment that you'd like to see a maintenance schedule for that included, which would basically just be trimming the grass to a reasonable height, maintaining stuff like that, making sure the outflow and inflows are protected. The idea is just for an area for any impervious runoff to go to, hopefully infiltrate back into the soil and then protect the downstream neighboring properties.
Thank you.
Everybody good? Staff? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You wanna speak now, John Paul, you all set?
For this one, just a guy named Bill.
All right. Is there anybody here like to speak in opposition to this application? Anyone in opposition? Anyone like to speak in favor of it? Anyone in favor of this application? Hearing none? That's it, everybody's good?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Moving on to site plan. P 22-20. Brian?
Okay, this is P 22-20, site plan application of Legends Auto Boutique LLC, applicant AMMB, Associate Limited Partnership, owner relative to 150 Universal Drive, map 6, lot 3, plan entitled Proposed Automotive Use, Sales and Service, 150 Universal Drive, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by SLR dated August 19th, 2022, 1 inch equals 80 feet, IL 30 zoning district.
Remember, just trying to steal like a easel.
I did.
For the record, my name is Timothy Lee. I represent the applicant, Legends Auto Boutique. With me tonight is Giovanni Petrucciello. He is the principal of Legends Auto Boutique, and to my right is Rock Amon. He is a civil engineer with SLR. We are here tonight seeking site plan approval for our automotive use. This hopefully is the last step in the process. We went to ZBA the last 2 months. We did receive location approval from the ZBA. We got a special exception for that, and now we're here before the Planning and Zoning Commission seeking approval of the site plan for the automotive use. If we get by tonight, Giovanni will apply to the state DMV for the dealer repairs license, and then he'll be able to operate the business. So the property that's the subject of the application is 150 Universal Drive. It's the old in-shape fitness building. Giovanni has a long-term lease for the property. He is seeking to open up an automobile customization business. Well, they take an existing car, he'll put aftermarket parts on the car, and then he hopes to sell the vehicles. He currently does a similar operation in North Branford, but he's running out of space, so he has secured this location, and he hopes to get operating as soon as he can. As I mentioned, we did go through ZBA. We did receive the special exception at ZBA. The ZBA made the determination that we comply with all the bulk standards for an automobile use at the site. We meet the lot area requirements. We meet the lot width requirements. We also have agreed that there'll be no outdoor storage of any vehicles. The entire operation will be inside the interior of the building. We have roughly 24,000 square feet inside the building. So we have plenty of room for the operation. He's going to have 6 bays to work on vehicles. He's going to have an interior showroom where he'll showcase 4 vehicles. And then he'll have some space dedicated to the office for his employees. So based on all of that, we would ask the commission to approve the site plan. It's a pre-existing site. It's already built out. We're not really proposing any new structures. We're proposing some minor modifications to the building. I'll have Rock just run through those changes for you right now, and then we can see if the commission has any questions.
Thank you. For the record, Rock Emmond is Associate Civil Engineer with SLR Consulting out of Cheshire, Connecticut, formerly my owner of Broome. As Tim had iterated, which the upside down. Just making all the changes. So as Tim had iterated, it's located at 150 Universal Drive. It is 4.321 acres for the entire parcel. There are 3 existing buildings. Primarily, as part of this application, they'll be renovating one portion of one of the main buildings on the site. So I'll hop around. Let's hop this real quick. Hard on me.
One more.
So we have obviously gotten ZBA approval, and part of that ZBA approval, we provided a site plan. In doing that site plan, we received engineering comments. As part of those engineering comments, we revised the site plan to address said comments. So originally, the building was being modified interior, so there were interior renovations, and we were proposing a ramp to allow for car access around the building and getting inside. With the engineering comments that we received, there were comments such as removing a couple parking spaces as well as giving end islands with landscaping. We've incorporated those comments into the site plan, such as the handicap ramp that goes to the main entrance of the building, locating the ADA accessible spaces, as well as providing a parking count. There is today existing about 179 spaces. After all the modifications, there'd be 171. Based upon the employee count provided by the client or by the applicant, there are 15 employees. We kind of assume that there'd probably be about 10 customers at any given time. So we're looking at about a total required site based upon the other uses. Approximately 65 spaces are required. So obviously, if we're already overparked at 171, 65 are technically required by the use, various uses, as well as providing the, say, 25 spaces for this individual use. We should be fine there with regard to parking. Additionally, we're showing that there's a 5-foot sidewalk in the frontage. We're also requesting a waiver. This is an industrial zone. There are no sidewalks around. I don't think that we should add a sidewalk for pedestrians to walk on in this area. mostly from a safety perspective. Additionally, with all that, I believe some of the comments were regarding just cleaning the catch basin structures, typical things. One of the comments we received is that there's going to be limits of pavement that are going to be rehabilitated. So there's going to be milling and paving of certain sections of the parcel. As the applicant does not own the parcel, I believe the owner is going to be providing the milling and paving of certain areas. So at this time, we don't have the availability to delineate that said area, but know that it is going to be done. The employee parking will be located to the direct, I think this is north side is down. So there will be dedicated employee parking along this side of the building because of the, the ramp should only be operated by somebody who's going to be employed by the owner, just because of the nature of the turning movement, as well as there's I think it's 14.5 feet between the back of the parking stall to the property line. So that's a little tight. So we want to make sure that if it's going to be anybody that's going to be parking back, that it's not a customer and not somebody who's going to be unauthorized to operate a vehicle in that particular area.
Luke, how close is that utility pole to the bottom parking space by the island there?
I can measure that off real quick.
I know you've got bollards around it, but I'm just wondering how close it is.
How
About
close is
14 feet.
14 feet.
So it's about 14 feet from the edge of where we're going to be proposing the island to the actual utility pole. Utility pole approximately 1.5 feet wide. Usually a little thinner than that, but it's just rounding error.
Now, you want to finish your presentation?
Yeah, no problem. So there were 3 handicap spaces that were located here at one point from the gym use. Those are going to be completely going away, and mostly because they don't really meet the criteria for an ADA accessible parking space. So they're obviously being relocated over here, and these will be restriped to only be standard spaces. So all in all, that's from a site plan perspective, that's the long and short of it. So I'm obviously happy to answer any questions.
Well, I just got a couple questions, Tim, in respect to this. You probably have to stay up to, first off, you're not asking, no outside storage.
No outside storage. Everything's going to be internal.
Okay, so that means there's no showing of vehicles outside, everything is done inside. I
So
understand
as a
that.
condition of approval, if we did it with a condition of approval, no outside storage or display of vehicles, that would be accepted.
Right.
Okay, good enough.
Just want to make sure.
Okay, so now the drive-in ramp is on, I guess would be the northerly or the
Yeah, it'd be on the
right-hand
west
side
Yep,
of where you're cutting
Correct.
that door in?
yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's where you're concerned about the employee.
Yeah,
part.
so really the turning movement will be somebody's going to pull in past and back in, or turn around and pull in.
Good.
They can't make this, that's kind of a hard turn.
I just want to be clear where they were going in.
Yep.
Okay, and I think that's all. What was that you were talking about, Brian, that pole?
Yeah, the pole, is that 14 feet, is that enough to have a car backing out and not blocking into it?
So, sorry, maybe I wasn't exactly clear on where I was measuring.
I think it's 14.3.
So it's 14 from this island,
Yeah.
and it is 23.
Oh, so that's not a
From the
space,
ramp?
that's not a space right by that island then?
This is a space right here.
Yeah,
They're
that's the
backing
space I
out.
was thinking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they would have to kind of turn a little bit,
Yeah.
avoid the bollard, and then they'd have plenty of space right next to it.
There's nothing there at the moment. There's no protective bollard or no protective island.
Yeah.
You know, I think the in shape was approved at some point in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why the handicap parking space kind of retrofit. And
Brian, what's in there?
it's not real polished at this point.
Didn't you ask about, was this the same place we were asking about the ballards around the gas meters?
Oh, that's
Or the
the,
electric
there were,
Yeah,
there's
so
bollards
for-
around the, where the handicap spaces are, they're there.
You
so
look like you were
the-
down a little bit.
There's
Were
four.
they
of them, I
up or
think.
down?
Maybe hit once or twice.
So
Okay.
there are four,
Yeah.
on the north side, there are 4 bollards that are protecting the building along these couple spaces.
Yeah.
Tim, did you say special exception?
We required a special, under the zoning regulations, an automotive use is considered a special exception, and that goes to the zoning board of appeals. So we had a public hearing in front of the ZBA. They found we met the criteria, they granted the special exception, and that allowed us to come back before the planning and zoning commission for the site plan approval.
We call it a special permit certificate of location here, but that's,
Oh.
Yes, typical.
a lot of towns
Oh,
call
okay.
it a special
I
exception.
never heard.
I never changed it.
Yeah. I didn't get that. Okay, I'm good.
I have a question. I see that you already cut through the wall on the north side. But I also noticed on the south side of the building that you cut it, there's another cut for, looks like an overhead door, right next to the stop work order.
I'll turn this over to the owner.
How are you?
Okay.
Giovanni Trusiello. So, there's going to be 2 doors.
Okay.
So the front is the drive-in only for the showroom, because the front of the building is one level and then it steps up to
Yes.
the warehouse, which is the second level. So that plywooded door in the back, when it was the gym, they had replaced it, which was originally a garage door back in the 80s, whenever the building was built. So that is going to be a garage door only to drive into the warehouse.
Yeah, I just don't see it on here. That's, maybe I'm missing something.
Is it on the architectural?
There
It's
were
on the floor,
architecturals that I think show that they may have been here, come to you earlier.
Oh, okay.
He was continued by the ZBA and
So there was a door. They took it out when they had the gym, and then they,
Put it back
you're gonna put it back
It was an
in.
all glass window that was, what was it, 12 by, I think it's 12 by 16. So
Okay.
we're replacing with a 12 by 16 garage door.
Okay.
Does that require a ramp from the existing parking lot to the building?
No, so it's
No.
actually,
Look,
At grade?
it's at grade, and then there's a loading dock right next to it, which I think this shows it, but there's there's cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Right around here.
So the loading dock is directly next to the drive-in, but they're both the right levels.
How many service bays inside were you?
So there's gonna be 6 lifts.
6 lifts.
Yep. So we're keeping
They'll
enough.
all be using that one door to access.
My whole thing was if we have too many doors, it blocks off wall usage for the walls, wall space. So one garage door is, so
come on, I don't see it.
Okay.
Can you, and you're the right guy, can you tell me a little bit about how your business works? Because we talked about maybe you'd have 10 people that are on site. What are the customers doing? How does this whole
So-
operation go?
realistically, the only reason that customers, I mean, we have a social media, I know it doesn't really matter to you guys, but we have a social media following where once we open up, I'm assuming we're gonna have quite a bit of people stopping in, seeing what it is and checking it out. But most of the customers that are coming in to drop off their vehicles or buy some parts for their vehicles, or they're just coming in to get some accessories, apparel from the shop.
So people contact you to put things that don't come from the factory,
Correct.
essentially, like what?
Like vehicle wraps, that's one thing. Lift kits, wheels and tires. We customize headlights, taillights. We pretty much do all of the work that the dealerships won't, right? Because they don't want the liability of upgrading aftermarket stuff on cars, so we take that.
Just-
Okay.
Good, thank you.
So, you just said vehicle wrap, you're gonna do a total wrap there in this
Wraps?
facility you're doing, yeah?
Yep.
What does that mean, a vehicle wrap?
It's a film. Instead of
With a
paint,
hole.
it's a vinyl sheet that you can take a heat gun to, warm it up, and it conforms to all the different angles on the vehicle's body. So it's
crazy getting
pretty cool stuff.
You never know, you can't get the whole color of your car.
There we go.
could
You want a white
advertise your
car,
law
you want a
firm.
black
if
one.
you-
And if you guys needed it, I do have a floor plan here to show you guys.
I think we're good. For me, I'm good.
Yeah, so you're gonna be doing like LED lights and special,
Correct, yep.
ceramic coatings and things?
Oh, yeah, yep.
You did mention coming into your storefront to buy apparel and stuff, so there is a direct retail aspect to this.
We're gonna have
The
a bunch
North
of,
Haven Library will be closing in 20 minutes. The public
Good.
copier, Wi-Fi, and all computer workstations will shut down in 5 minutes. Thank you.
All the right.
We're good, don't
yeah,
worry.
we're
Talk
gonna,
fast, talk
we're gonna
fast.
have a bunch of, display cases with apparel in the showroom. So the showroom's not just cars, it's gonna be, we don't have as big of a showroom as most dealerships, but at the same time, we aren't gonna be selling the same amount as dealerships and have the inventory that dealerships have. We just need that dealer license so that we can, if we want, sell a vehicle, modify it and sell it if the opportunity is presented.
You good, Mark?
I think so.
Good? Like,
You're gonna be, you mentioned wheels before, you're gonna be repairing the wheels too?
No,
If so-
no,
so,
just new wheels and
CNC,
putting them on.
CNC.
Ryan?
Yeah, Tim, I guess you've read the comments from land use and engineering. You're okay with everything?
Yeah, we have no problem complying with those comments.
Okay.
I
And
personally read them too. I'm gonna put the, what are they called, bolsters?
the
Bollards.
bollards.
I'm gonna put some black ones next to that pole for me.
Excellent.
And just to reiterate, we are asking for the sidewalk waiver. I know Rock made it up. That's one of the comments in the town planner's memo.
Yeah, and just one other thing. You're not going to have any outdoor storage, but you're not going to be doing any repairs
So
outside.
outdoors-
You're not going to do any repairs
No,
outside?
no repairs at all outside, no.
Outside, okay,
No.
just.
I hope my guys aren't working outside.
Okay.
But no outdoor storage, no. No car's gonna stay overnight outside.
Right, I thought I went, okay, John?
I'm just curious what kind of cars you have in that showroom.
Well, I mean,
Come on down.
it's gonna be the fancier cars.
Yeah, like exotic cars or what,
Yeah,
what do you got?
Ferrari, Lamborghini, BMW, Porsche.
Good place.
Yeah,
We can't fit, so my main line of work is trucks.
yeah,
I can't fit a truck through the door or in there because of the drop ceilings. So that ramp, Rock was explaining, it's gonna be a little tight to get into it. It would be impossible for a truck. But for cars, that's the only things that's going in the front of the building is going to be cars. Two-door cars, coupes,
okay.
small cars just need to get in there.
Okay, good?
Good.
Okay. Staff, everything good? Okay, any closing?
No, just thank you for the time.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Move on to, get down to other. We have one other here. Yeah, change you, let's get the change you. Yeah, change you, you're right. Someone here for, 410 Universal?
Yeah. Hi, I'm John Brown, Vice President of Operations for Metro Mattress. I was told to be here in the event you had any questions regarding the change of use that we have for the site we're going to convert into our retail outlet here in North Haven.
So what are you gonna do?
We're going to take the two units and we're gonna turn it into a retail space where we sell mattresses, mattress accessories, sleep accessories, pillows, sheets, frames, adjustable bases. We have 6 currently in the state of Connecticut. We have 49 in New York State. And we're continuing to expand and hope to be able to do that in North Haven.
The reason he's here is the particular space that they're intending to take was half retail
Yeah.
and it was half a bank.
Yeah.
So we could sign off on half, but you're.
But, how many stores do you have in Connecticut?
We have 6 currently.
6 in Connecticut?
If you like, the CEO of the company, Al Maludis, was nice enough to send me an email, and it's just sort of a little fact sheet, and you could look at it if you will. So we'll give you that, and then you can burn it in your fireplace.
Alan, no good pictures.
Alan.
Do you
wanna
want
give
this?
them?
I'm the Capone director.
There you go. We have 2 left, if
Where-
anyone out there.
where is
Frank
your-
knows that. Perhaps some of the legends people know.
Okay, sir, where's your closest store to, North Haven?
Right now, we have Shelton, we have Southington, Shelton is probably the closest. We have Greenwich, Westport, Shelton, Southington, Newington, and Manchester at this point.
And you're sure spread out, John?
Yeah, we're all over New York State. We're from Buffalo to Albany, Watertown, down to Binghamton, and we're in the Hudson Valley. In fact, next week we'll be opening a Middletown, New York store, and then in December we'll be opening a second store in Newington.
Wow.
Well, you're headquartered where?
Syracuse, New York.
I've heard of it.
You been there?
Been there? Mr. Orange?
In about 2 months, I'll need a dog sled to get
You're a
here.
really bad school up there.
Yeah, we're Saturday, that's for sure.
John, just a question, why'd you choose North Haven?
We have a couple of realtors that are going through and looking for us because our expansion plan, our CEO is looking to expand aggressively into Connecticut and New England. Really, we choose our location based on the proximity of competitors and demographics. North Haven, the community around New Haven, we're probably gonna end up in New Haven, but we prefer to kind of stay on the outskirts of it right now. We're also looking at Clinton, and we're looking at a location in Branford as well. So the population is here, the demographics are here, and for us, you know, smaller communities work really well for us. We don't have superstores. We have small stores that do nice business, and that's our model, really.
Okay, thank you.
Good enough. Any question?
No questions.
Paul?
No question.
Jim?
Good.
Mark?
Fine.
Okay. Good enough, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go to, back up to other at this point. We have, under other, we have, P07-08, that's 37 Pond Hill Road. This is, the commission has a letter well written by the applicant here, and, this is, yeah, I know they want to approach it, come on, Elizabeth, yeah, sure. Sit right there if you'd like to stand up. You can read the letter, so it can be a lot. But what they really have, they bought a piece of property, probably 15 years ago or so, and they subdivided it, and at that time, it looked as though, well, city water would be a good idea to bring up. Anyways, we incorporated city water in the approval. But it did not work. The expense was just too great for them to bear, and the rest of the people didn't really want it up there on Pond Hill Road. So they're back asking us to remove the city water on the amendment.
Let me just amend that history a little bit.
Go
This
ahead.
has been here at least 3 times.
Yes, go ahead.
Repeatedly asking for the same thing, and we repeatedly said that.
Mhm.
So I just want to, you just gave a little summary where you left that. So it came, we said they needed to bring the water up, that was part of the original approval,
Yes.
correct? So if they wanted the approval, they had to bring the water up.
Yes,
So they got the approval, and now then they didn't wanna bring the water up, and it came up in front of us before, and we said no. And it came up with us at least once, if not twice before, and we said no. And now it's the exact same request. That's the only thing I wanna make note of. It's the same thing
question.
we've done, this is for at least the 3rd time.
okay.
Am I right?
Yes, this is
I
the
believe
third
so.
time. This is the
Now go
third
ahead.
time. Elizabeth, this is the third time you're before us, I
Elizabeth
believe.
Street, 37 Pond Hill Road.
Elizabeth, one second. Go ahead. Read in your, did you read it all, Jim?
I did read it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Jim.
Okay. Yeah, I understand, but the one thing that is different is that, okay, so I'll go through the whole thing. In 2005, we put in an application to subdivide our 5.3 acres into 3 lots, and we submitted it for, sewer and well water, okay? 2 years later, we got approved because there was a bunch of changing of the guards. Town Allen came in, and, all that, Mr. Johnson left, all this stuff. So anyways, it kept getting pushed off. So in 2007, we were approved with 3 lots with sewer, and we're told we had to bring up public water all the way from Clintonville Road, which is 1,240 feet away. Of course, the cost of the public water was prohibited then, and it certainly is now, at the tune of $475,000. And then in 2013, directly across the street from us, our neighbors, which are now moved to Florida, the Taylors, applied for 3 rear lots, same scenario as ours, and got approved with sewer and well water. I mean, this is directly across the street. The headlights from the rear drive come right into my house from the house that's now there. So 2 houses were built in 2014 on the then said Taylor's property with sewer and wells with no issues, and there's still 1 lot there that remains vacant. You know, it's sold, but nobody's has built on that. Okay, so that's the issue. Back then, they were not told, if they're directly across the street from us, that they got approved without public water, so it doesn't make sense. They're directly across the street from us. So obviously, this has been, you know, this has made the property unsaleable. I mean, it's been 14 years. It's been on and off the market. Nobody's gonna buy something that you have to pay more than the value of the lot for water to come up. And then secondly, nobody on our street wants public water. We've gone that route. We've tried, you know, we've asked everybody, nobody wants the water. And then also at the end of Fawn Ridge, I didn't put that in the letter, there, you know, there's in other words, like, we have fire hydrants closer to us at the end of Fawn Ridge to access our back property. There's no need to bring up public water. It's just, and then the last thing is that our, like where we're North Haven, directly diagonally across the street is Wallingford. Okay, so we've gone to the Wallingford Public Water, and they've said they would never bring up the water all the way down from, oh gosh, they're way down. They're probably like a couple miles down up the street, because the street splits. North Haven is on this side, Wallingford's on the other side, so nobody would be able to get the tie-ins. So in other words, bringing water all the way up from Clintonville Road to our property, it's not going anywhere. It's just there's no way to loop it in. So the Regional Water Authority said they don't want to do that either, because, you know, they want it to loop, because then they can flush things out and it makes, you know, but they won't do that because of the town split. But they're, so that's the other thing. But, you know, the main thing is the Taylors are now sold their property, houses built up there, and they're gone, and I'm still sitting here because obviously, you know, I have a builder that's ready to go with wells, because it's you know, it's not cost prohibitive to bring up public water.
So you've been trying to sell these lots, you've been unable to sell anything?
Unable to sell it. We haven't had anybody come to us and give, because once they see, because obviously when you list it, you're gonna put full exposure there. You're not gonna say, oh, gee, maybe you could do well. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put in there that you have to bring up public water. Nobody's touched it for 14 years. I mean, you know, that's a long time.
Okay, so you wanna.
So we're asking that we can just, you know, put the wells in. I mean, everybody's well on the streets are wonderful. Our well is, how old? Our well's 100 years old. Our house is 100 years old. I mean, we don't have any issues. We have great well water on our street. And again, like I said, it's North Haven and Wallingford. It's only a few houses. It's not cost prohibitive for anybody, and that's why, you know, that's why the town's not bringing up the water, because it's not, you know.
Okay.
So that's it.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah, I have a question. You mentioned Fawn Ridge. Do you have any intention of cutting through, having anything go to Fawn Ridge?
There's an easement.
There's an easement.
There's
yeah.
an easement that comes up through, so we talked to the fire marshal, this was, you know, this was years ago in the very beginning, and he said he has no problem going up the easement to put out a fire, you know, on the rear lots, because it's closer than him coming from Clintonville Road, because it's only, oh gosh, it's only a couple hundred feet away from, you know, from the easement. Right there, at the end of Fawn Ridge.
But
So
there's
there's a hydrant water accessible right there to put out a fire in the event.
The North Haven Library is closing in 5 minutes. Please bring all items to check out at this time.
There's no intent to punch through the Fawn Ridge. So.
Us?
Yes.
No, because those are, the easement is private property.
Right.
That's it, and just, you know, if in fact we do approve this for you,
Hmm?
if we do approve this for you, you know, I wanna make it clear that there's nothing to go down into, no cutway going down into the town right away there, into that easement.
Fawn Ridge.
Fawn Ridge, yeah.
What about the easement?
Nothing, you just won't use it.
No, of course
Okay,
not,
good
because
enough. That's
it's not ours, it's just.
Good, one
it-
second.
Yeah.
Good. Brian?
Yeah, Elizabeth, I just had a question for you. And did you have any idea the water was gonna cost $475,000 initially?
No, obviously.
Because that would be a
no.
very big surprise to anybody for that, because that's probably worth more than some of the lots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that's
Yeah.
what's more than the, obviously the value of the lots.
John?
I have any questions?
So my only question is, when you put in this original application back in 2005 and was approved in 2007, you asked to do it with wells, right?
Yes,
And we had a whole hearing about it, and the commission came and said you had to bring the water up. That's what happened, right? After the entire hearing where you said it was gonna be expensive, the whole thing, we had a hearing and said to put it in, and you disagreed at the time, correct?
yeah.
So what has changed is that people built across the street from you. That's really the only
No,
thing
what,
that's changed.
no, that's not what has changed. What has changed is that it's unsaleable with the
How much
condition.
was it back then?
Back then, $150,000.
And you didn't do it. Right?
No, but that's still cost prohibitive to lots back then. That's still
Sorry,
way,
sorry.
for 3 lots, that's not.
I just say something, I'm her husband, it wasn't 150.
You gotta say.
Oh, no, I'm
Stand
sorry,
up, you gotta do
sorry,
this. You know,
sorry, I made a
Matt,
mistake.
if you wanna speak, you can speak.
No, I don't wanna speak,
It was
I'd
two-
rather be
I'm sorry, it
quiet
was- it
because
was-
it's been long enough.
Oh,
It was
okay, then don't speak.
245,
From-
bring it up. It's doubled since, yeah.
Just address it to Jim.
What was that?
I said, Jim.
Oh,
I heard.
yeah, it was
Oh,
245.
I know, I don't want him to override it.
I have a question, just, I was surprised to see the number of 475 there. I remember the other numbers, but you got that number from Regional Water Authority. correct?
Yes, and
That's
actually, it
that's
was
the new
Mr.
number.
Frieda who got the number for us, because we actually, spoke with him to see, and he, got that number for us from the Regional Water Authority.
Let me say this, this is what I think we should do. Say, then let's redo another application and come in with everything just like we did the first time. And then if we all say, okay, bringing up water is unreasonable, fine, but you're doing this piecemeal after we've rejected it 3 times. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think we should be looking at the whole application, because there were a lot of issues back then. There were issues whether the fire department thought they could put in sprinkler systems with only having wells, right? Didn't that come up? And about how the police and firemen could put out fires if it happened back there. If they can convince everybody, God, that's fine, I'm fine. But I don't think this is the way to do this, just.
So,
Now, can I say something too? Okay,
Let me
Okay.
let me talk to them first.
yeah, I say.
Because we'll talk about it more in deliberations.
Yeah, of course,
obviously.
of course. But I'm just saying, you think that they should make another application?
Yeah.
With the
You
same
come to us and
site
tell
plan that
us.
they have?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Same site plan that you have to put another
Let's have a
application?
let's have a hearing on it,
Yeah.
a real hearing on it, not just this piece.
Okay.
And maybe they can convince
I'd like
most,
to, I'd like
most
to.
of us.
I would like to convince.
LED,
I want
most
to-
of us.
I wanna do the right thing for these.
I understand,
You know,
I understand what you want.
Here's a
but-
couple that bought a piece of property, and they thought they could make a few bucks on it, which anybody would. They subdivided it, they're probably in, as deep as they could go on it, and it didn't work very well for them. What I wanna do is try to make it good for them and good for the town.
That's the part that we need to have a
That's
hearing.
exactly what I wanna do, is make
And
it.
that's part we have to have a hearing. In my opinion, we can do whatever we want, we can talk about it.
I understand it very well.
Because it's not an actual application, this is an other.
This is an
So-
amendment to what they.
Well, it's an
amendment-
other, it's not even an application, it's
Yeah.
not to amend the
Well,
site
it came
plan.
only because.
It's a request.
Go ahead.
It's a request. That's what I'm saying is, let's do an actual application. And then
Okay.
make an application to amend the site plan and come back, put it on the agenda as amended site plan so we can have all the questions and have it reviewed by staff and see what all the comments are. That's what I think we should do.
Okay,
What's
no,
that?
and what,
Matt, come up and speak.
No, I don't want to.
okay, what I have to say is that, I mean, you have, I mean, Alan's gonna probably have to pull them out of, archives, but I mean, you've got tons of maps from us because, with the well water on there, I mean, there's all kinds of, so I don't think an application is necessary because you have all of those in our
Elizabeth.
file of
Elizabeth,
original.
all Jim is saying is use the same maps that you have.
Mhm.
Everything you have, you're not gonna have to go out and spend a ton of money. I know that's what you're concerned about. And just resubmit so we can put it on and put it from the beginning, so everybody takes a look at it. And it'll be 30 days down the road or whatever it is. It'll be
Okay,
30
look, I'll be honest with you, I'm running out of time, I can't do this.
Okay,
Do-
I'm just
I mean,
telling you what
you
you
can-
suggest.
you can
Let's make a
read between the
decision. That's
lines,
fine.
Yeah.
so
Make a decision.
I'm just saying that, I mean, can't you just vote on it? I mean, I get, I mean, I really don't get what you're saying because you have all the information, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we've been here year after year after year, I mean, it's not,
Good enough. I got it. Jim's got it.
Oh, I got it.
Mark, you understand the whole deal?
Yeah.
Paul?
Got it.
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay, so we'll talk about this in deliberation. Okay. Good enough, thank you. Matt, thank you as well. Okay. Where are we going now?
I think we're
Extension,
headed for
there isn't any.
deliberations.
We have, huh?
Deliberations?
Yeah, one second, just want to check this page out. Okay, yeah, motion to go into deliberation. Jeff? You need a motion?
Nope.
You want? Okay. I give you a motion.
I'll make a motion to go into deliberation.
Okay, I got a motion and a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You in favor, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay, I got the, first thing off we got here is a referral, the 824 for the Maxinaway, roof on the building in Monterey. Jim, do you wanna make that?
I'll make a motion that we have a positive referral for the 824 application for the Maxinaway Baseball League.
Okay, got a motion for a positive referral. All in favor? A second?
Second.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, very good. Okay, we get down to Frank Muzio. On the subdivision, the one lot subdivision or two lot subdivision up on Hartford Turnpike. Got a motion to approve with the condition that all Andy's, with Andy, our town engineer's comment and Lee's administrator's comment, and we'll cover it all. The only comments we'd have on that is the removal of all the debris and to clean the lot up thoroughly. I get a motion to approve that.
Now,
I'm sorry? I can't hear.
The request waiver.
Oh, yeah, and the sidewalks as well.
So
We'll
are
take,
you
we'll
asking
take that.
for a motion with the sidewalks included?
I was gonna do that after, but he wants to do it now. So we're gonna motion with a waiver of the sidewalks.
No, without a waiver of the sidewalks. I would not be in favor of waiving the sidewalks.
Okay.
So let's figure out where we're going. You're having this, you wanna have a discussion, make the motion
Sure.
approve and let's have a discussion.
Go ahead. You can start.
Well, there's no motion to approve, and
He's
my
gonna-
motion, if I'm gonna do a motion to approve, it would be without a waiver of sidewalks.
So
Is
why
that
don't
what
you,
you want to hear?
why don't you get someone who's likely to make the motion that you
I
requested?
thought that, make it. Go ahead, make the
That's what I'm
motion.
saying to us.
Brian. Or Paul, somebody.
Well,
it's tough because,
Let's talk about the sidewalks. So let's get to whether you're gonna get a waiver or not get a waiver. Obviously, I want the sidewalks.
Yep.
They're already up there. I don't know any reason we should put them there. We can put them on, we, long time ago, talked about coming up with a plan when Scott was here, trying to come up with sidewalks on one side of the road. there's some up there as part of this subdivision approval, like this prior land, we put sidewalks out there. Why would we do it now and not put the sidewalks? That's other than that, I have no problem with this application. I hope he can keep farming. I hope that this helps him stay alive as a farmer. All great. But under our current rules, if I understand it correctly, he'd have like 9 years or 11 years to put darn sidewalks in, right? Some crazy amount of time.
Well,
Now, at the same time, though, if he has to put up a bond, the bond doesn't get released until the sidewalks are put in.
Right.
Is that right? So that plays against it, but he has a lot of time to do it. So my take on it, just so that we are preparing, I understand it down where the gym is. Okay, the gym is on a road that literally nobody walks on. But this is a residential area. I think that's what we put them in at the other land. I think we should have sidewalks. So let's figure out where everybody else is, and then we can figure out what your motion should be.
Good enough.
That's how I see it.
What do you got what do we have for frontage on that? What's the frontage on that lot?
Hold on.
I think that was 100 feet, wasn't it?
100 on one lot, 120 on the other, or something?
Well, you got 113,
Is it 100 on the other?
40 is 153, 253,
253?
roughly. 250 feet frontage.
All right.
Just so I understand, we're talking about sidewalks only as part of the,
Front of this.
No, well, let's look at
Front
it.
of the
So
lot?
it's a U-shaped parcel that would
Right.
remain. So you're talking about the southern segment of the U that fronts on Harper
Both sides,
Turnpike.
Paul. Both sides of the
both sides
existing
here,
house,
even
yeah.
the existing house, okay.
That's what's on the
Okay.
map, yeah.
Okay.
Right, both sides
Yep.
of the existing house.
Yes.
So it'd be a couple hundred feet.
It would be
200 feet.
223 feet.
220?
213, I'm sorry. 213.
Okay.
Well, you've got to hit the other 40 for the new lot, the deep
Oh,
lot.
crossing the driveway, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah, you gotta connect to it.
minus the driveway, so maybe 240, 235.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm concerned, because that's further on down the road. It is a commercial neighborhood zone where something active could go in down there where you would have people walking to and actually, using the sidewalks. Right now, it seems kind of foolish, you just have one house there, a couple houses there that have sidewalks in front of them, but this could actually go someplace, as we say, sidewalks to nowhere, this could actually go someplace towards that spot that's in the commercial neighborhood district if somebody wants to build on it and do something there. So I would be intended at this point to want to keep the sidewalks. I want to not waive them. I think it would be important up there. You have the gas station across the street. It would make sense to keep them. I know if the commercial neighborhood district wasn't there, I would probably not want the sidewalks, but it is there. And it is something that we could go into at some point in time and grow.
I was wondering, is that gonna interfere with this stand?
I'm sorry?
This vegetable stand?
No, the stand is on the house lot.
Right, the existing,
and-
Right.
Yeah.
But
And
I
that
don't,
would-
I think that's pretty close to the road.
The
This is my
stand is
point.
right on the road.
It
My
is,
point, yeah.
but the existing house lot would not be required to have sidewalks because
Okay.
it's not in the subdivision
Okay.
per se.
Got it.
Okay. Even if that, there's 9 years to put these things in.
14.
14? It's going up.
Is it
John?
14 now?
What
I
do
thought
you
it
say?
was 11.
It was.
A lot.
What do you think, John?
I agree with Brian, I think it's a good idea, extend the sidewalks.
So you wanna see me shoot myself in the foot? So, the right thing might be to just do the little part that he's developing now as a house,
Right.
because the other one is his farmland. So that's coming to us, I hope not, I hope he can farm forever. But when it comes to us as actual building lots, then we can require him to put in sidewalks. So as a compromise, I would suggest putting sidewalks just in the lot that's being built.
Just in front of the
So
Just
that, what's that, like 40 feet?
That's 40 feet minus the width of the driveway.
Whatever, right.
You make him do the sidewalk all the way?
Going through the driveway.
Make that motion.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay, you can be
So
that guy.
what I would suggest is that we approve the subdivision with sidewalks only across the width of the new lot that's being developed.
The partial waiver.
It's partial. Understanding, when they come to develop the rest of it, I'm gonna be looking for the rest of the site.
Good enough. Okay, so I got a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Who made the motion?
Jim?
Jim made the motion.
And who seconded? Pete Desier. Okay.
Yeah, Jim. Got it? Yeah? Okay. We got a motion. Give you a second.
Yep.
Approval. We're good to go.
Okay.
Frank? The question's called.
And he
Okay.
still has 14 years.
Maybe so. And Frank, will be sold there,
Then
sold
it might be
tomatoes.
15 or 16.
Okay, let's go down to, Auto Boutique. It's just been presented, you know, the way it is, with no outside storage, and I made it very clear during the presentation. I'd like to get a motion to approve it, the way it was presented.
I will make a motion to approve P 22-20, the Legends Auto Boutique, as presented.
So I'd like to just amend that motion to make it a condition of the approval, so that there is no question that there's no outside storage or display of vehicles. I want it to be on the approval that it says it point blank, because we've gotten that come back
Good
at
enough.
us in the past.
Oh.
So they were okay with it, I'm not doing anything they weren't okay with, but I want it to be a
Okay.
conditional approval. So I would amend Brian's motion just to add as conditional approval, no outside storage or display.
I have a recommended condition saying, since no outdoor car display area is requested, a note should be added to the site plan indicating that no vehicles for sale or for example will be displayed outside on the property.
And that's fine, we can add that, but I wanted to say in the approval, so that when you send the approval, it says that those words, so we can go back to it, say to our zoning enforcement officer, if God forbid this happens, this is what the approval says,
Good enough?
not just that it's a line on the plan.
Amend the approval. Make a motion to amend the approval.
I'll make a motion to amend the approval as
Okay.
Jim's comments are.
Second,
So I'll now second Brian's motion.
Okay, good enough. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Vote? Okay, good to go. Now we're gonna vote on the first one. All in favor of approving as it was presented? You did yours already, Jim.
Wait,
You gotta do it in two parts.
We have to do it in two parts?
Yeah,
wait, what, in two parts?
we gotta do this in two parts. He amended it. We gotta do
No,
the
no,
amendment.
he amended his motion,
I
we
amended
just
my
voted
motion.
on
Oh, you
that
amended?
amended motion.
All right.
We're good.
Okay, so we're back. Brian made the motion?
Yep.
And who seconded?
I did.
And where were we on the sidewalks? They requested a waiver?
Partial.
Oh, yeah.
No waiver, no
It's a
waiver.
waiver.
No
There's a
side.
waiver.
We're waiting.
Yes, a waiver.
With a waiver.
So
With the waiver.
That's what I
They
said,
don't need the site.
Okay.
with a waiver. As much as it kills me.
Down there, nobody's.
Jim? Okay, we're down
We
to,
gotta vote now, right? Did we vote?
I thought we did.
I didn't vote.
All,
We
none?
did?
I did not hear a
Okay.
vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Good, motion carried. Down to change of use.
I'm making a motion that we approve the mattress place at Fort Benning Roosevelt.
And I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, motion carried. Okay, now we'll get to under 37 Ponds Hill Road. You wanna make your case again, Jim?
Listen,
But what you got, the one just,
I hear it, it's down as other, I think it should be a revision of the site plan, we should get comments from staff, and just treat it like a real application. That's the way to do this, this is not the way to do this, this is no different than it came to us 3 times before, I understand you're sympathetic to them. There's 5 of us here, 4 of us are ready to vote for it, and give it to them, you do what you want, but it should be done as a regular application.
Okay. Paul?
I don't, I understand what Jim's saying, but I don't see pushing this out for another month is gonna help anybody here. So, yeah, I would, if they presented it the way it's proposed, I would vote in favor.
Well, he wants just everybody to have a crack at it, what he wants, but I'm saying, it's gonna be the same application.
Right, I know.
It's coming a month later than, it's okay. What do you think, Brian?
I think these folks have been through a heck of a lot. I think we have all the documents on file that we need. It's been going over and over again, and I
Well,
think.
what did here's just if we're discussing it, what did the fire department say, Brian?
I don't have a clue, it was 15 years ago.
That's exactly the point. So we're voting on it, ignoring whatever was said. That's the problem that I have with voting on it.
I don't think we are. We vote, we
What did
approved
they
6 houses.
say
We
15
approved-
years ago?
Oh, wait, we approved 6 houses across the street. On one side of the street is no different than the other side.
But it absolutely is, because this one was approved with water, and we turned this down 3 times. Listen, okay, do whatever
Yeah,
you
okay.
want.
I don't agree with you at all.
Because the application should have comments by our staff, by both fire and police, and everything that we acted on. I was here, thank you, certainly in a couple of times that it came by.
Okay, good enough.
So,
Listen, I appreciate what you're saying.
Well,
John?
excuse me, I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
Right,
Speaking,
so
I was speaking when Jim started speaking.
You what?
I was speaking when Jim was
go
speaking.
ahead.
No, as I'm saying, this has been rehashed over the years, and I don't think there's any reason to prolong it any longer. And that's where I stand.
Okay.
Same.
You feel the same way?
Yep.
Jim? Okay. I want to make an motion to, I want a motion made to amend the original approval to remove the city water, replace it with the original application with wells and septic. Is that what shows on this?
And do we all want?
I'm sorry?
Do we also want to mention the right of way?
The easement,
Yeah.
What do you want to mention with
The right of way.
that they're not gonna put a road through.
That we're gonna put a road through there.
No use of the easement at all.
Okay, if you wanna do that, okay. This request is to waive the water. There's
Then we'll
no
leave it.
road proposed in the subdivision, and that's not a part of the question, but you can
Okay,
put
no,
whatever.
we don't want to confuse the question, then we'll make.
Why do but whatever you wanna do.
Okay, you're right.
this is part of the problem. It's not an application. That's the problem. You're dealing with things with no documents, no nothing. It is like, listen, just change the approval. You're entitled to do it, but I think you should be looking at the documents. That's what I said in the first place.
Good enough. Well, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
What
Do we had a
Can I
motion?
understand
He made
the
a motion.
Okay,
Brian made the motion.
so Vern made the motion, okay? And Brian's the second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4-1 carries. Okay. Now we go down to the minutes. I believe we're down to the minutes.
Yep.
Bonds. Bond, we have a bond here.
Oh, we do have one bond. Is anybody here for the bond?
There's no one here for the bond, and we only put this on the off chance that, the owner of the property would be here to, present some new information or what have you.
Yeah,
They're not here, so we can
Somehow the owner of the property just does not understand what we're asking him to do. And I don't understand how I can explain it to him in any other way that will make sense to him. His last email to us showed very clearly that either he did not understand what we were talking about, or he's trying to confuse the issue and make this thing go away.
What
So
is, I
we-
don't remember, what
It's
is
the
the
little
issue?
trees, the little trees around the dumpster.
You know
That's,
why?
this whole thing is surrounding these stupid little trees around the dumpster. The trees were intended to be a screen for the dumpster, and the trees are this tall. They've been there for 4 or 5 years, they've not grown. That's the whole issue, you know? All we've asked them to do is just replace those small trees, and they won't do it. They won't do it. I don't understand why. There's you know, a somewhat significant bond on this project, but they chose to not do that. So we extended the invitation to have them come to the meeting so that they could argue their case directly to the commission, and they've obviously chosen not to show up. So I don't know what else to do with that situation.
Well, the thing that we did, Jim, that you were not here for the meeting when.
Yeah, you weren't here, that's why you don't remember.
Which parcel is this?
This is up on Washington.
342 Washington,
Oh, gas station.
Mini Mart gas station on the corner of Wadsworth.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah.
Roger did not want to give it up, he wanted to hold the bond until they replaced the tree.
Did what they
So
supposed to do.
we went with that.
They're really,
So that's the
really
reason we
close.
wanted-
Right here.
All the issues have been resolved except for that one issue regarding the trees. And that came up at the last meeting. It was clear that the commission was not in favor of just allowing those trees to stay. So we've been very clear with the owner about, you know, what the commission's requirements are. And, you know, they obviously have chosen not to come and address the commission directly. So I don't know what else to do at this point. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a phone call tomorrow.
Well, I think we should get a phone call, but I don't think we should, you know, we
No,
held this
let
up
them-
because of.
Let them give them a phone call, tell them to come next month.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what I'll do.
Or
Or
you know,
just
resolve it.
do what we asked them to do.
Otherwise, but Rod had really spearheaded what I believe was actually a compromise. So I don't see him as having been overly rigid. I thought he was kind of trying to meet him halfway. If you'll just do this much more, that's the way I saw it. Is that the way?
Yeah, that's the way it's up.
I don't know. Maybe they will. They will do.
And the town attorney has been dealing directly with the owner's attorney on this. So we're
She
sort of one
wants
step back on this.
Town attorney wants us to get rid of it.
I don't think the town attorney cares one way or another.
Well, I don't know, she just don't want to be bothered anymore, but I don't.
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that she doesn't care one way or another.
Yes.
The bottom line is, it's the commission's
Right.
requirement or need.
That's fine.
I was ready to do it last month.
Have you tried to use pictures and explain it?
Because if you're supposed to do something, they won't do it, off. We're off. Next,
Next, that's it. At that one there, and,
make a motion, we approve the minutes in October.
okay.
I
Have
think
a
I was
second?
here.
Have a second?
Second?
We're good?
All in favor?
Are we?
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll happily second that.
Hold it. Can I just get a different second to make?
You got a second, I wasn't here.
I thought I heard Brian second it. There you
Okay,
go.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Brian.
I thought I made a
Sorry,
motion.
rookie mistake.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.